Hey everybody, once again, thank you so much for joining me. We are continuing the WWF Hasbro tournament. Today it is Sunday, March the 12th. I am coming back. I'm going to make a few more videos today. So I am going to try and knock out as many of the round 2 videos as I possibly can. And that way they are in queue, ready for upload when the time comes. So yesterday I did get 5 brand new carded LJN figures in, so super excited about making these Series 3 LJN review videos. That should be coming up hopefully maybe in the next week or so. Now there are a couple of figures from Series 3 that I don't have on card, so I'm trying my best to pick those up on card. That way I'll have both the loose and carded figures available. If not, loose figures are fine, but we will dive right into the Hasbro tournament. So, just like we did in the first 2 videos of round 2, we're going to do a random drawing, 5 matchups, and I'll pause, I'll pull the figures, and we'll dive right back into the matchups. Alright, so, looks like the first matchup we're going to have is the Mega Maniac Brutus Beefcake is going to square off against Series 11 Yokozuna. That one really sucks because, again, those are like 2 top-notch figures that literally could be like right there towards the end. Semi-finalist potential. We have Berserker gonna square off against Warlord. This one's going to feature, from Series 5, the custom black-suited Macho Man. That one comes from, I believe that one was Derek's Pumpkin Man 1986 custom figure. And he is going to be squaring off against the custom axe. And the custom axe, I believe, was Robert Jackson. Alright, next matchup is going to feature the Jim Neidhart custom. I think that was another Derek figure. And he will square off against the Series 9 Hacksaw Jim Duggan. And the final matchup for this video is going to feature the SWAT custom Big Boss Man version going up against Sergeant Slaughter. Alright, so I will pause the video here, pull those figures, and back in half a second. Alright, so I do have the figures pulled, and we will dive in to the first matchup. And it's a gut-wrencher. There have been quite a few of them already here in round 2. Because it's coming up against 2 figures that I legitimately believe would come down to the final 10. And, yeah, it sucks. When I said I wanted to do a drawing, I wanted it to be a legitimate pick a name out of a hat type of deal. This is how I wanted it to be, and I knew that this was an option. And, if I had done it originally the way as I had done previous tournaments, you know, all your Series 1 would go against each other, you know, winners Series 2 onward. You're still going to get rid of a lot of really good figures up front, and this is random, and it sucks. It hurts. You know how much I covet the Yokozuna figure. There's no doubt. I've already explained. When they came out with Yokozuna on Hasbro, no other Yokozuna from any other line has ever come remotely close to emulating the body type that Hasbro came out with this figure. Absolute perfection when Hasbro created this. The only one of its kind. No other figure. I mean, Hasbro is synonymous with reutilizing the same exact figures to create other characters. You can't create Yokozuna using a Bam Bam Bigelow or a Typhoon type body type, or Earthquake, anything like that. You had to give him his own body type. The man was 600 plus pounds. Uh, Bam Bam was like what, 300 something. Guys were Earthquake 400 pounds. So you had to give him his own mold, his own shape. This is, as I said, a perfect figure. Look wise, fighting pose wise. You know how much I gravitate towards the figures with girth on them. Just like why I love the King Kong Bundy from LJN. That weight to the figure. I always feel like weight of a figure always adds value. Series 11 Yokozuna, as an individual loose piece, you're probably talking $150 to $250 figure, even without the card. So you know how much I love value of, talk about the value of certain pieces. Now, because Brutus Beefcake is a custom, now the individual Series 3, Zebra Pants is, hovers around $25 to $35. On a high end, you might get $45, depending on the seller and the condition, whether or not he comes with his accessory, etc. This particular custom, if you were to put this on like eBay, Mercari, what have you, because I've only seen one custom, I think, in the past, and I think it sold for like around $40 or $50. I don't exactly know how often it would actually sell for that, so I don't know the true value of a Mega Maniac Brutus Beefcake. But this is such a unique figure. Even as a custom, how many people out there actually own a Mega Maniac Brutus Beefcake? How many people out there have actually gone searching for this particular figure or have acquired a Brutus Beefcake to get it customized? Not too many people are interested, but I'm sure if they saw the figure that they would want it for themselves. It's an absolutely awesome piece. This is a tough one. I absolutely love the Series 3 Brutus Beefcake. It has a perfect pose. Like I said, the Series 3 is one of the most perfect figures. And with the new custom paint job, giving it the unreleased Mega Maniac version, we could have had the opportunity to have 3 different Brutus Beefcake action figures. 2 really superior ones, to go along with the little inferior Series 1 version. I covet the Yokozuna figure so much, but it's really difficult for me right now to give up on the Brutus Beefcake figure. I'm going to shock the world because I'm going to select Brutus Beefcake. Now, I think because I said it in the past that if it ever came down to maybe a white or the red, that I always enjoyed the color of the red better than the white. So, yeah, the white, obviously, value-wise, is twice, sometimes even 2.5 to 3 times the value of the red. That obviously plays a role, but I always enjoyed the color-wise scheme of the red Series 8 Yokozuna more than the Series 11. But this is such a unique piece, and his color scheme is so fantastic, and it looks just, again, it's crisp, it's clean. It's a mint condition figure, absolute perfection. I'm really eager to see how far a Mega Maniac Brutus Beefcake can go in this competition, and I'm not ready to say goodbye. This is a legitimate #1 contender to win the entire tournament, and to see it disbanded in the second round, it's gut wrenching. There's still a Yokozuna competition, so it's not like Yokozuna's completely gone. But 2 out of 3 figures are gone within the first 2 rounds. That kind of sucks. But the opportunity to see this guy move forward is just, to me, it was important. Again, even if he's eliminated in round 3, I want to see this one make it as far as possible. So I am going to go with the Mega Maniac Brutus Beefcake for just at least another round. Alright, so let me write down these notes here. Mega Maniac Brutus defeats Series 11 Yokozuna. Interesting. I honestly believed when I saw that I might have gone the other way. That was definitely a tough one. This is a good battle right here. I like this one a lot. This is two really great figures. One has one of the best customs of the entire line. The other one comes with a comes with one of the best customs, one of the best accessories. Excuse me. Comes with one of the best accessories in the entire line, and the other one comes with a custom accessory. So it's going to be Warlord coming up against the Berserker. We drop that. So again, the Warlord staff doesn't exactly fit in his hand or anything. So when you display this, you kind of like sits on a display shelf or whatnot. So it displays well when it's not moving. But I think whoever, the people out there that create this accessory, they gotta do a better way of creating some kind of hook or something that maybe attaches to his hand somehow. Just because, again, he doesn't have a grip that actually holds it, so it doesn't really make sense. It's an awesome piece. It definitely blends well, beautifully with the Warlord character, the little Warlord staff, but again, just because he doesn't have the hand mold for it, it would be nice if they had some kind of attachment for it. But anyways, the Warlord itself is an absolute beautiful piece, and he goes up against the Berserker, which head mold wise is phenomenal, and his accessory with the robe. I don't remember where I had the robe. I think I had it like number 2 or something, maybe number 3, as my personal all-time favorite accessory. And of course, from David Garland on Etsy, 4 Left 3D Creations, I have the little Berserker sword as well. So, not really a primary piece for an accessory, just a custom accessory, but it goes well with the figure. I've talked about it in the past. With many of the figures, Hasbro reutilizes the same pieces from previous series. So what they do with Berserker, they just took Hacksaw Jim Duggan, didn't change out the thumbs up or anything, just used the exact same figure, gave him a new paint job, cut off the head, gave him a different head mold, and created a different character, but still a great piece. Individually, you're looking at a $20 figure with the robe, especially the original robe. That brings the value up to around $60 to $75. So I like the Berserker. To me, I said it before. Jim Duggan, probably in my opinion, the best figure for play if you're a kid. The simplicity of the figure makes it one of my least favorite, but that's about it. Warlord doesn't have the playability or that I enjoy from the Berserker's pose. Yeah, with the arm press, like so many other characters have, it's great. His body, the way he kind of like leans back, is a little bit different than some of the other figures like Hogan and Warrior, etc. British Bulldog, so on. But the overall display and look of the figure, the chest plates, the color scheme throughout, the headpiece, everything about this figure is absolutely fantastic. I absolutely love the Warlord figure, and I gotta admit, between LJN and Hasbro, Warlord gets some of the best pieces. He's one of those characters that seems to always, the manufacturers always seem to do it right. His action figures are always remarkable. So, as a display piece, definitely better, I would say, than the Berserker. The accessory of Berserker, that accessory to me puts this figure light years ahead of so many other figures in the Hasbro line. Again, a pose just like Hacksaw, one of the absolute elite pieces. I mean, with his head mold, I actually remember Berserker a whole lot more. I remember him from childhood a lot more than Warlord. I guess I could say. I remember my brother's girlfriend had rented Royal Rumble, and we had gone to her house and to watch it. And you remember Warlord coming into the Rumble, huffing and puffing. I don't know if it was by chance or if he was intentionally imitating him, but if you actually watch Berserker wrestle, and then you go back and watch like old Bruiser Brody matches, I think Berserker was actually doing his best to imitate Bruiser Brody. Or, again, maybe it was just by coincidence, but they always seem to be like the exact same character. So that was pretty special, I think. Tough one. Absolutely love both figures, but I do believe Berserker is going to be my selection in this round. Warlord's a great piece, no doubt, but I am selecting Berserker to move to round 3. So, let's see. This was Yokozuna, and this was... So Yokozuna gets tossed, and Warlord gets tossed, while the other two gets crumpled up and gets put in my hat for selection in the next round. And Berserker Series 6 defeats Warlord Series 5. Alright. So this is a couple of really good customs. One is a little bit more in depth, of course, than the other. So it's going to feature from Derek, Pumpkin Man 1986, Macho Man custom from Series 5, and from Robert Jackson, the Axe custom from Series 2. We will start with the Axe figure. So, again, it's one of those figures where if you blink, you're going to miss it. If you're not very familiar with the Hasbro figures, you're never going to know the difference. It's very subtle, but it's enough. So he decided to use dual color eye paint around the eyes. And again, it's just enough of a change to make it a completely different figure in my eyes. And it was enough for me to select him as my winner in round 1 over the original figure. So, the arm press slam, again, so many figures have it, very common. Obviously, I prefer figures that have the closed hand for punching and whatnot, but I mean, this is a very playable figure. Aesthetically, it looks absolutely fantastic. Demolition, again, has some of the best aesthetically looking figures. And the paint job, I mean, again, if you look at that, it looks manufacturer made. Everything is crisp and clean. You would never know that this was a custom job. It looks absolutely remarkable. And when I think I bought this, I think I bought I don't know I can't remember if I bought this and Smash together or if I bought them on individual auctions, but I did win both of them together, or I won them around the same time. And I think the original Smash I chose to move on past the custom, but it's just a really good figure. And I mean, is the simple change enough to defeat the Macho Man from Series 5? It's not. There's just a lot of detail, a lot of change to this figure. I mean, this is almost completely changed from head to toe, and it is just an absolutely remarkable detail throughout the entire figure. Rob did a fantastic job with the Axe figure, but what Derek did with this Macho Man goes above and beyond. So this, to me, I feel like was, an easy choice that, we don't have to hash on too much. with the Series 5 Macho Man, there's a lot of detail, a lot of going on with the figure. I've said it before, with all the extra clothing and the tassels and everything. Display wise, it's a fantastic piece, but I mean, if you're a kid wrestling with this figure, to me, I just think of it more of like in terms of LJ and Hulk Hogan from Series 5. Aesthetically, as a display piece, it's probably the best piece in the entire line. As a playable figure, it's not necessarily one of the worst, but it's near the bottom. You have a perfect Series 1 Hogan, so like why would you use a Series 5 Hogan? And you've got Macho Man from Series 1 and 2 / 3. So why would you need to use a Series 5? This to me, not this, but the original Series 5 to me would be more of a more of a collector's item type of deal. Display piece, not necessarily something that as kids you would use when you have the other versions. Derek's figure, absolutely fantastic. Love it. I have a feeling that this one in particular should go far. Again, with luck of the draw, who knows who he goes up against in the next round or the subsequent rounds. But based on design and effort, colors, and everything, there's no reason why you shouldn't see this Macho Man figure go extremely far in this tournament. So, Macho Man Custom from Series 5 is going to defeat the Axe Custom from Series 2. Alright, so let's call it Black Series 5 Macho Man Custom defeats Axe Custom. Alright. The next matchup. So Custom Axe is trash and Custom Macho Man moves on. This one, just on a kind of a side note, a few videos ago I talked about the Sting and the Bret Hart customs from Denver Moore. There's actually two Nasty Boy figures that he also made, Hasbro figures, that were absolutely fantastic, and me being brain dead that I am, I completely forgot about them. They're still on the wall hanging up, and I keep looking at them every time I pull new figures off that wall over there. I'm so ashamed that I completely forgot about those guys. So they're not a part of this tournament, but they should have been. I do apologize. Maybe at some point I'll just bring them up just as kind of like a reference. Maybe have them over my shoulder as like a backdrop or something, just so that they're shown. Would have either one of them have won this competition? I don't think so, but still, I think it would have been fun to at least would have including them. Anyways, this one I do believe was Derek as well, and he is squaring off against a Series 9 Jim Duggan. We will start with Jim Duggan. Once again, 4 Left 3D Creations, David Garland on Etsy. This hacksaw actually says the word hacksaw on the 2x4, so not an original. We got the hacksaw flag from Series 9. And so, same exact figure from Series 2. I've already said everything that needs to be said about this figure. I can't really add anything that hasn't already been said in the past. With this figure, compared to Series 2, subtle changes. Drilling a hole in the hand so he can hold his flag. Changing the brown hair for blonde. Changing the blue for white. Giving him a shirt. Giving him the American colors and everything. Light years, even though it's the same figure, it's still light years better than the first one. Great figure, play-wise. So that helps. Perfect figure play-wise. And with the additional colors, schemes and everything, this is another perfect figure. And his accessories, make this potentially a top 10 candidate to win the tournament. Is it going to win the tournament? I mean, I might look at 30 different figures and say this is a top 10 candidate, but in my opinion, legitimately, I do feel like this right here is a top 10 candidate. This is a fantastic piece. Absolutely love it. Jim Neidhart is the Anvil Neidhart, a legitimate contender, not only to defeat Duggan, but is he capable of suppressing the competition in rounds 3, 4, 5, etc.? This is a fantastic piece. I absolutely love the fact that they gave him this this black outfit, getting him away from that blue Rocket outfit that when he tag teamed with Lone Heart. It's a great color. Jim Neidhart from Series 5, overall good looking figure. Is it the best of the line? I would say probably somewhere mid-tier among the Hasbros. Not a bad figure at all. Like I said, Series 5 had some really, truly amazing figures, and Jim Anvil with the original was no different. In the black suit, I really enjoy it. But to me, I think this was an absolute no-brainer. This isn't something you're going to spend 5-10 minutes going back and forth on. I really believe that this is something that you're going to look at for about a minute or two and make your decision. And I think Jim Duggan is easily the superior figure. Not in terms of color scheme and whatnot, but pose and everything as well. Jim Duggan is just so much better. And growing up, I always loved Jim Duggan. And Jim Neidhart, to me, he wasn't exactly like a top favorite or anything like that. So he was someone that was around, that was present, that I knew about, that I watched wrestle, but he was never anyone that was like a mega superstar or anything like that in my eyes. So it was like he's like a Coco Beware in my eyes. Coco Beware, it's someone who I grew up watching and whatnot, but I don't consider Coco Beware by any stretch of the imagination to be a superstar. A very weak athlete, especially to be someone who's above a jobber type of deal. So, is he a jobber? No, he's a brute force. He's a great athlete, but just not elite. He's not on par with Bret Hart, Hogan, Macho Man, those type of guys. So he could never match up with those type of guys. Jim Duggan, same deal, but come on. He at least he was always an enjoyable character. He was always a crowd pleaser, no matter where he went. Jim Duggan from Series 9. I ain't even gonna push him forward. So let's see. Jim Duggan, Series 9, defeats Custom Jim Neidhart. All right. The last matchup, I believe. I'm trying to think. This was either Derek or this was Denver. I'm gonna say Derek because it just seems like all my custom Hasbros from that side of the room came from Derek. But the SWAT custom Big Boss Man from Series 1 is going to square off against Sergeant Slaughter from Series 3. So, alright, so basically the Series 1 Big Boss Man, switch out the blue shirt. Everything is painted black from head to toe. Then he threw on this amazing SWAT vest. I always like to add accessories, even for my custom figures. This is very well done. I think you could actually lift this up and take it off if you want to, but I don't know if that's like glued down or whatnot. So I don't want to ruin the figure by doing that. This is, I guess, intended to stay on there. And this is just very well done. This is a fantastic figure. And Sergeant Slaughter. Sergeant Slaughter is one of those characters that I grew up watching. I really don't remember him too much as being the bad guy, the turncoat. You know, going back and watching these old Coliseum Home videos, yes, after watching those refreshers, yeah, I remember it after watching it. But I always remember it as like a good guy and everything, and I remember his commercials and his interviews, and he's always like a fun character. And again, someone I grew up watching, someone I always enjoyed, and his figure is such an amazing piece with his drill sergeant hat on, and his figure is amazing. The only downside that I don't like, and it's not necessarily negative, but you see a lot with the LJN figures with the little pointing finger, which I don't really like because, sometimes with these figures that pointer finger gets chopped off and the figure's damaged and it loses its value. But this is an absolutely gorgeous piece. We're over 30 minutes already, guys, so I'm not going to spend too much time hashing these. This is, I think, man, I love the action on this figure. I love the military look. I'm going to choose Sergeant Slaughter. Based on Bossman or Slaughter, I'm a much larger Big Bossman fan than Sergeant Slaughter, but for nostalgia reasons, isn't going to be enough. I'm also going off of display, off of colors, off of fighting ability and all that, and Sergeant Slaughter is easily the better figure, hands down. Even with the custom and all the additional accessories, I still think that Sergeant Slaughter is far superior, and to me, I think it's a no-brainer. It has to be. So, Sergeant Slaughter is going to defeat the custom, and he will move on to round 3. So, Sergeant Slaughter Series 3 defeats Big Boss Man SWAT Custom. Alright, and this is random drawing number 3. So, again, I plan on making at least 3 videos tonight, but I'm going to try and make as many as I possibly can. So if that means 4, 5, 6 videos, perfect. If that means only 3, so be it. But I'm going to end the video here, guys. Once again, thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you in the next video. Goodbye for now.